Starting. All right. So we're talking about exponent rules. The product rule, the quotient rule, and the power rule. When you're multiplying stuff that's got exponents, okay, that's the product rule. You add the exponents. When you're dividing, just a second, when you're dividing stuff that's got exponents, like in a fraction, you subtract your exponents, okay? So that's the quotient rule and the product rule. Well, let's start with the product rule right here. So I'm sorry, sir, what's your question? Because I wanted to talk about the product rule first. So product rule. Product rule, I'm multiplying. I got 3 times 7. That's easy. That's 21. Then I got g to what power? No, over here. That's g to the 1. No number means it's the first power. So g to the first power times g to the 4th power. I'm looking at each piece individually. Did I say first? I'm sorry. Got a little ahead of myself. I'm looking at each piece individually. So first I'm looking at the numbers. 3 times 7. Now I'm looking at the g's. I got g to the first power and g to the 4th power. When I multiply those, I add the exponents. That's g to the 5th. And then I've got h to the 5th power and h to the negative 7th power. I'm adding exponents. 5 plus a negative 7. That's negative 2. So that's h to the negative 2. But that's not what the instructions say. The instructions say what? So what does a negative exponent mean? I move it to the denominator. So that's 21 g to the 5th over h to the 2nd. That's my answer. All right. That's the product rule. All right. Now we got what? Because g with no exponent is g to the first power. So that's g to the 1 times g to the 4th. When you multiply stuff that's got exponents, you add the exponents. 1 plus 4 is 5. So g to the 5th. Just like here, h to the 5th, h to the negative 7. I added them. Yeah, I did. I got h to the negative 2. Yep. And then the instructions say you need to have positive exponents. So instead of being a negative 2, I moved it to the denominator and it's a positive 2. Because that's all the negative exponents mean. What's wrong? Okay. So anyway, because this, honestly, this is review. You've done this before. Anyway, so what do I got here? Okay. At first, I'm looking at each piece. So I got 4 divided by 32. That's 1 over 8, or just 8 in the denominator. Okay. 8 in the denominator. Yes. Because all I did was reduce. I divided 4 by 4 and then 32 by 4. What don't you get? What don't you get? Okay. So anyway, next. Okay. Excuse me. Could we not have that conversation? I mean, I'm trying to record this for folks that ain't here, and that I don't need to have that on there. So anyway. So, yeah. Well, here's the thing. Because I got 4 on the top and 32 on the bottom, I treat it like a fraction and I just reduce it. You know? So that's why I got 8 on the bottom. Yep. If that makes it clear, 1 over 8, yes. So now I'm looking at A. I've got a to the negative 3 divided by a to the 2. Yep, so I subtract. That's negative 3 minus 2. That's negative 5. You actually act like the fraction line is a subtraction sign. Negative 3 minus 2. So what's negative 3 minus 2? It's negative 5. So I got a to the 5th. Because it's negative, I'm putting it on the bottom. You want me to do it all to the top and then move it? Okay. It only take one more step. It's fine. No, stay there and go to the bathroom. So anyway, so a to the negative 5. Then I've got b, of course, bruh. Come on, man. That's not even a question. I got b to the 8th minus 4. So 8 minus 4 is just b to the 4th. And then finally, I got z. I got z to the 3rd minus a negative 5. So 3 minus a negative 5. What's that? That's z to the what? It's not negative, it's positive 8. 3 minus a negative 5. So subtracting the negative is the same as adding a positive. 3 plus 5 is 8. And then I get this the way it's supposed to be. A on the bottom, B on the top, and Z on the top. I move negative exponents to the bottom. That's what I was saying. I said it's one extra step. First, I just added and subtracted, got whether I was going to get a negative or positive number. Then I said if I have a negative number, I need to move it to the bottom. So, because remember, it should only contain positive exponents. I reduced that. That's a fraction. 4 over 32. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 32 divided by 4 is 8. No, you don't. I just wrote the 1 so people would understand where it's coming from. No, you ordinarily don't write the 1. No. I said you ordinarily don't write the 1. Hey, come on. So anyway, so let's look at number 2. The second one. I got 16 over 20. No, that's right. 16 over 24. That can be reduced 2 over 3. So now I got x to the 12 divided by x to the 6. 12 minus 6, x to the 6. Then I got y to the 6 divided by y to the 11th. 6 minus 11, that's negative 5. So I'm gonna move it to the denominator after this step, yes. And then last, I got z to the negative 3 divided by z to the negative 4. So negative 3 minus a negative 4. Negative 3 minus a negative 4. What's that? Yep, it turns positive. So what is it? It's just 1. No. Negative 3 minus a negative 4. If it helps you, write it out. What? What? Ask the question. No, you do not get a calculator. No, you don't. You're not gonna need a calculator. I haven't got to that point yet. That's your fault for not being able to add. I've got 25 questions. That's it. That's the whole test. I don't know why people keep asking. I said it's 25 questions total. There's one part. I don't have two parts. I didn't separate it. Are you happy now? I know because they made the schedule before I made the final. So it's just part one. If you want 2 days or need 2 days, that's fine. But I didn't separate it. It's only one. Hold up. Hold up. Let me make sure we're perfectly clear. I made it. We're working together. It's not going to be like that. If I tell you something, that's how it is. Okay? So anyway, that would be why I can't mark this video for kids. So anyway, it's z to the first power. So see, negative 3 minus a negative 4, that becomes negative 3 plus 4. If it helps you see it, write it out. Negative, negative, negative. Arabia, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No. So messed up. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the good thing. Sorry. So anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna not say that again. When you subtract the negative, it's the same as adding a positive. Another way you think about it is when you got a negative and a negative close like that, the negative signs cancel off. So negative 3 plus 4. So that's where I got the 1 from. Yes, please don't slap nobody. So now I'm moving stuff that's negative to the denominator. That's 2x to the 6z over 3y to the fifth. You can divide them by 2. Yep. Uh, look at, excuse me. For this one, excuse me. I'm going to take negative 6 times 4. That's negative 24. I got a to the negative 3 times a to the 8th. That's negative 3 plus 8. What's negative 3 plus 8? That's 5. Yep. And then I got b to the negative 2. Because there's nothing I'm multiplying it by. Yep. There's no b over here. Yeah, probably.